Have you ever read Genesis chapter 9 where it says that Ham saw Noah naked, and then Noah turns around and curses his firstborn, Canaan? I never understood that until I read Leviticus and found out what it means to see your father's nakedness. So check out, it makes so much more sense. Leviticus chapter 20, it says, if there's a man who sleeps with his father's wife, he has uncovered his father's nakedness. That's what it means to see your father naked. It's a euphemism. And it makes so much more sense. Because why else would he curse his firstborn? And I always read that in Genesis, and I was like, something else is going on here. Like, it didn't really seem like it was telling the whole story. And if you ever read it, you know what I mean. It's like, what else happened? Because like Noah wakes up and he says, when he found out what Ham did to him, it's like, what do you mean? And why does he never talk about Noah's wife? Like, you would think like the mother of everyone would be like, we all came from them. Those are the three boys that, his three boys, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, populated the whole earth. You think it would be nice to mention the woman, but like, it's because Ham slept with her and produced Canaan, which is why Canaanites were cursed, and that's why all of Ham's other boys were cursed. Is all of Ham's descendants populated Africa, and Noah curses them as slaves, servants. That's the same word used. That's when slavery is first mentioned in the Bible. It's established there as a punishment, and Canaan is the servant of them. So it makes all of Ham's kids who populated Africa servants, slaves, and it's a curse. And a servant to them, a servant to servant, is Canaan, who was driven to Israel, where Israel will later come and conquer them. And it makes so much more sense and explains everything, because Japheth and Shem populated the whole earth. Africa was cursed, were their descendants, which populated Africa, and then it doesn't curse Africa. It curses Ham's descendants, and they happen to be the people who populated Africa. And then you got the rest of the world. Japheth and Shem populated Europe and Asia, and the world is awesome and is great. But you've got this curse on Ham's offspring. And let me read this, and you'll understanding what it means in Leviticus, where it says the meaning of sleeping with your father, the meaning of uncovering your father's nakedness is to sleep with your father's wife. And it's not like there's no other time this has happened. David's son Absalom slept with David's wives publicly on the roof so all of Israel could see it. Jacob's first son Reuben slept with his father's wife. For Corinthians, the book of Corinthians, you get this guy in the Bible sleeping with his... So it's not like there's not precedent for this. This has happened before, but this is the first time it's happened. And in order to veil over God's bloodline, over the lineage, over our heritage, in order not to make God's family look like a shame to the world, he doesn't flat out say, and Noah's son slept with his wife, because you'd have all these unbelievers. The whole world would mock God. Look at you Christians, you Jews, you're a family full of people sleeping with each other. So he does it in a veiled manner in order not to shame God or to shame Noah. And you see this throughout the Bible when it doesn't go into graphic detail. When Adam knew Eve and they produced a child, this is PG rated stuff. You've got children in the church listening to these sermons, so God has to use terms that people that are wise can understand the meaning to, without having children asking questions at too early of an age. But as we grow older, we can see so as soon as they get off the ark, God explains the rainbow in the sky, and then he says, look at the words God uses carefully. Now the sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. You notice how he says who came out of the ark. He didn't say Noah's sons were, but the ones who came. And that is interesting. And then he goes on to say, and Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth were populated. Why did God insert Canaan with Noah's three boys, knowing full well that Ham had more boys that the next chapter would describe by name in detail? Why didn't he list them? Why didn't he say anything about Japheth's boys or Shem's sons, which are going to be mentioned in the next chapter? But he says Canaan along with Noah's other three boys. Now, if this is indeed true, and Ham slept with his mother to produce Canaan, then Canaan would technically be the half-brother of these three. He would be the father to his own brother and half-brother, and Shem and Japheth would be their half-brothers. So it would be fitting to have him listed here with them, since he is indeed their half-brother. Then Noah, verse 20, then Noah began farming and planted a vineyard. He drank some of the wine and became drunk and uncovered himself inside the tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. He did something, because it specifically says that Noah uncovered himself. So there's something else that happened. And then he told, it says, and told his two brothers. So not only did he do what he did, but he wanted to shame his father. When you shame someone else, you're doing it for two reasons. You're doing it to make yourself higher, elevate yourself, and to lower them. It has, when someone tries to shame you, they're trying to bring you down relative to themselves. He told his two brothers outside, but Shem and Japheth, which are Ham's two brothers, they were good. They didn't mock Noah. Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it on both their shoulders and walked backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were turned away, so that they did not see their father's nakedness. Then it says, when Noah awoke from his wine, he knew what his youngest son had done to him. So he said, cursed be So he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants he shall be to his brothers. Now, Moses is writing this in retrospect. He's telling the story. And Moses knows that Ham's boy's name would be Canaan. So it's most likely Noah said, your boy will be cursed. But looking back at it, he's telling us the story that Noah cursed Canaan. A servant of servants he shall be to his brothers. So if you're a servant to servants, then the people you're serving are also servants, which means that Ham's, all of his boys are made servants here. Canaan is just simply made a servant to them. So Ham's boys are going to be servants. They're all cursed, and Canaan will be a servant to them. And this is the same word as slave that's used here in the Hebrew, and it is the implementation, the very first time we have slavery. God invented it here, and it's a curse, it's a punishment. He also said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant, and may God enlarge Japheth, and may he live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant." So you've got Ham's boys who are cursed as servants. You've got Canaan serving them. But on the other hand, you've got Japheth and Shem. And they're not going to be like Noah's boys who are servants. But Canaan is going to serve them also. So Japheth and Shem are great. Japheth is going to live in the tents of Shem. They're going to hang out. They're going to be good old brothers. But Canaan is going to serve both of them. Then it says Noah lived 350 years after the flood. So all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Never mentions Noah's wife. Is this something she wanted to do? I don't know. I don't want to speculate. So, wow. What do you say about that?